In this lesson, we are going to learn how to dimension an object. We are going to dimension the length, the width, and the depth, as well as the location and properties of the two holes. Now we've got our front view, our top view, and our right view. It is important while we want to describe the location and size of everything, we do not want to re-describe it in different views. We also don't want to give information where we could already surmise that same information from dimensions we have already created. We will demonstrate this a little later. Let's start by dimensioning the length. We're going to go up to Annotate, select Dimension, and we are going to dimension this top, which is our length. Now we could have dimensioned the length several other places. We could have dimensioned it here. We could have dimensioned it here. These would have all been the length. The important thing is we only want to dimension at one place. If we dimension it here and here and here, that would be considered over-dimensioning because we're re-describing the same thing twice. Next, let's do the width. Let's select Dimension again. Top, bottom. We want to make sure it's outside the object. We'll hit OK. Now, we could have just as legitimately dimensioned the width here. However, if we dimension it here and here, that would be considered over-dimensioning. Now, we're going to have to dimension the depth. We can't see the depth from the front view, so we're going to have to do it from either the top view, which we could do it here, or the side view, which is here. I'm going to choose to do it from the right view. And there is a dimension for our width. Next, we need to describe exactly where and the size of the two holes. Let's start by dimensioning the location. We're going to do this first hole. We're going to click in the center and go to the edge. This shows us how far from the edge the center of this hole is. Second, we want to dimension how far from the top this hole is. So now we know the exact location of this hole. Finally, let's dimension the diameter. We'll select Dimension. We will click right on the outside edge, and this tells us the diameter of the hole. We're going to do the same thing with this other little hole here. We're going to dimension how far from the side it is. We are going to dimension how far from the top it is. And then we are going to dimension the diameter. We click on the edge when it's red. A couple more things we need to tell the viewer about these holes. We notice one hole goes completely through. We can tell this hole goes completely through because we see the center line comes out on both ends. This other hole we can see drills partway through but does not go completely through. In this hole, we don't have to tell the viewer how far it goes through because we know it goes through completely, and we already know how deep the object is. However, this hole, we can't tell just by looking at it how deep it is. So we are going to select the one end, the other end, and then we can tell it is 0.14 inches deep. Now sometimes somebody may ask, well, why don't we have to tell how far separated this hole is from this hole? Well, we can surmise this information. We know it's 2 inches overall. We know this is 0.28, and we know this is 0.70. So we can simply subtract 0.28 and 0.70 from 2.0, and we will know the distance from there to there. If we told this to the user again, this would be considered over-dimensioning. So as of now, we have a completely dimensioned object.